I'm Anthony.
And we're one former grad student, one still current grad student, Mantis Cheng. This is a Buggy robot that he built, and maybe Anthony can explain the sensors on it.
Okay, so on the Buggy robot, we have a green board here, and it has a microcontroller Motorola 68 HC11 processor, and we have a bunch of sensors on the robot. We have IR emitters and IR sensors, so we can detect objects on the left and right side. We have bumper switches, left and right front bumper switches, and a rear bumper switch. We also have 2 photocell light sensors.
Maybe you can get a close-up of the robot, just so that...
Do you want to get a zoom in on the robot?
So what we have done here is that the robot itself has 2 modes of operation: a roaming mode, where it simply goes about and tries to avoid objects, and the other mode is where we take control of it using this iPaq, which is kind of like a remote control. And so we have one iPaq here, which is the brain, so to speak, that sends commands to the robot circuitry itself, and we can remotely control it using this other iPaq. And the 2 iPaqs communicate with each other using a Bluetooth protocol. And so we can maybe now show you how this works. So you'll turn it on.
So I'll wake him up with a clap.
So now he's ready to take commands. You see the blue light is on, and he'll accept commands from me. So if I tell him to go backwards, he'll go backwards. Forwards, he'll go forwards. Turn left, turn right. So it's basically like a remote controlled car at this point. And but the thing which we added was two-way communication. So not only do we send commands to it, we can also receive data from it in regards to the sensor status on the robot.
So let's put him into infinite mode. Press that.
Yeah.
And we'll show the. We'll get Josephine to zoom in on.
Yeah. So if you take a look here, what we have is a status display of the robot, and so at any given time we can see what is happening. So if Anthony presses one of the bumper sensors, we see it light up, and the same goes for the other side. The rear bumper is shown up here. Then you see the right IR sensor and the left IR sensor, now both. What we have is, you'll see two underneath here, you'll see 2 light sensors, and that's what those blue things are. So if you hold it up to the light, you'll see full light strength, and then if you darken it, it disappears. And finally, we also have an indication of the motor direction and speed. So if I decide to go forward, you see both motors are going forward. If I turn right, then one will go slightly faster than the other, and then you can. So you always know what the status of the motors is. Okay. So if we put him down now, what will happen is that after a certain timeout, if we don't tell him anything, he'll go into his normal roaming behavior. In which case, he'll drive around. And
we'll do a demo of him trying to run into the wall, but he avoids it.
So you see, and all the time you can see on the remote is what he's seeing. Wow, he's quick.
He's very quick right now.
Fast and,
yeah. Or if Pavel touches the pad on the
yeah, so as soon as I
iPaq.
send commands, he enters manual mode, and you can see that by the blue light. Mm-hmm. And if I don't send any commands after a certain timeout period, the green light will come on and he goes back to his roaming behavior. Yeah. And we can even play music, so we can tell him to play a song. That's nice, right? Okay. Do you want to wrap up?
So that's the Buggy robot demonstration with the iPaq handheld devices.
Now you can simply drive it like this. I press it in the direction of keys. And what it's doing right now is also sending information back to this guy, telling us the status of the sensor. So what you have on here is your sensors in the front to detect any objects in the path. And there's bumpers on your roof, so it's like this. so it's always sending feedback back to the unit here to display what you know. Yeah, so if you manually control it and follow your commands, but as soon as you stop doing something, after the time of about 3 or 4 seconds, it'll just begin to roll. So just that's behavior where it's wandering about and trying to point out which is what it's doing now. So you can see it does that pretty well. Once you turn around and keep going.
So paddle's not touching anything on the iPaq at all. Okay, you can see it does have the display of the sensors.
So if you have it on the road,
It shows the speed of the motors, it shows what sensors are going on and off.
that's right. And then anytime you can take over and start to drive it within the cab and the bottom. If you press some of the keys on there, also allow you to play music.
Yeah, this button here does play one song, that button that plays another. So you can press those and then start playing music. Yeah.
And then you can see on the display there, it actually is displaying the data that is sending back and forth between the unit and the robot. You'll see text scroll by and it's running into things and doing stuff. So this is the rolling robot then. Do you have any questions?
Good at getting it.
It's done.
Okay. Now, who's got the iPad?